Good morning, good night, good evening. Today we're bringing you Turfets again. With Bismarck, Cleveland, Double Hipper, a Mainz, and a Gnevry. So, mostly German, except for one American and one Soviet. So we'll see how the Tier 6 does.
Attention Task Force Commander. Escort the support ship and floating workshop to the carrier. Over. Attention Engineer. Restore the carrier to operational condition. Attention Arsenal and Aviator. Deliver ammunition and resupply the Raptor air crew. Over.
Awaiting instructions.
All stations. Quick defeat of enemy forces is key to success.
Cleveland pops his radar. Really no reason to pop the radar.
Force detected.
He was probably trying to catch the DD. Is what I'm thinking he was trying to do. But it's just a wasted radar. Secondaries going off again. Under secondaries on Luchants equals increased reload. So that's my only goal, is to get as much damage and as much secondaries as possible. Unfortunately, Dispersion says no on that and only gives me like 8,000, which is unfortunate. I need to land so I can bounce his shells on my hull. Even a nice 13K salvo there. That's a permanent fire. 2 permanent fires on him. And we lost 20k of our health. Not the best trade, but we'll deal with it. Again, that all comes back to our adrenaline rush and our reload, so all that's going to make it a little bit more stronger. One shot, no detection. That tells me they're south.
Attention ship and squadron commanders. Pay special attention to torpedo defense. due southwest. This is Raptor. Moving out. This is Raptor. Enemy aircraft carrier detected. Destroyer. It's crucial for the squadron. Attention, squadron commander.
Need 23 more secondary hits and the Lucian goes off. Again, I am charging into on Mayoko. That has not crossed, that hasn't left my mind. I know that thing has torps.
The ship is on fire.
Vigorous Lucian.
This is engineer. All stations. I have equipment for light repairs of ships. Stay close.
Takes 2 torps. I do blow up 1 torp tube. I'm still anticipating another torp tube coming. Yet, for some odd reason, it shoots the Gade and not me. And Ginevra eats a lot of torps. I evade the Mogami's torps.
Problem solved, sir.
But I can't go back to the hill because I gotta keep pushing out to support my team. And like Cleveland is, well, down there. He's gonna die. Cleveland's dead. Cleveland is gone. He's dead. And we're gonna show his health right there. Yeah, he's dead. There's nothing he can do. He must have sat on an island. CV came in with armor-piercing bombs and just nuked his health away. Which is classic. Don't do that on. And then he just charges straight in. I think he's just given up at this point.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Yep, that's fire on him. I mean, he's going. He's dead. So now and the Hipper isn't even trying to really help on this. So I've got to push in, kill both these DDs, and protect this CV as it transits this strait. And then I'm not only worried about that, I got a CV I have that actually attacks me now. And I'm in a German. Armor-piercing bombs don't look good on me.
Torpedoes to port.
We do pick up one DD. We're going to evade that torp. Thankfully. There's a second set. We evade it. Thankfully. Our Raptor is going to take one torp.
This is Raptor. Roger. Adjusting course.
The ship is on fire.
I should have had my secondaries ready. I don't know why I didn't have them. I guess I was just trying to live.
Problem solved, sir.
I can go undetected for a bit, so I'm going to use that to my advantage. Secondaries on the Mogami. Try to aim at the water line, so I get a nice good salve. I get a nice 18k, plus my secondaries going off on him. It's whittling his health down. We spot the CV, so we get that increased little heal for a bit. There's the Mogami's torps. So we evade his torps. But then see, armor-piercing bombs coming in on us. That's no plano for. We do pick up the Mogami, so that's great. Secondaries on the CV, and we priority sector, and we hope to try to live. I could have aimed that a little bit better, but again, it was at the moment. We do take a citadel and a good chunk there. We still end up getting all 4 of our torps, even with that bad launch. And now I'm just running, trying to burn my heals, trying to live at this point. Another armor-piercing bomb salvo coming in. We get 14k on him. Secondary is still going off on that CV, trying to burn. Fortunately, we do have some AA's cover now, where we can shoot down some of these armor-piercing bombs. But there's no reason I shouldn't be alive. I should not be alive. And I mean, our secondaries are just kind of whittling that CV down. I've still got 1 heal left, but I need to get in that circle. I'm not going to live. And I am worried about these planes coming in. And now we've got double battleships. That means 2 AOBAs on the G1 and H1 and G1 are going to have 2 AOBAs, or 2 cruisers. So I've got 2 cruisers and 2 battleships I got to deal with. And the battleships are shooting me. And I can't maneuver because I've got to get to that heal circle. We've got all these torp boats here. We've got double hippers and double mains. All this torp power here. And it's not even being used. I mean, 3 torp boats, and they're not even using that torp power. I know it's only 6 kilometers, but what's the point of having all this power if you don't use it? If both those hippers charged at those battleships, they couldn't do much against them. They could just charge and torp them. So I would have to get around this corner, get my secondaries, and I'm focused on those cruisers, because that's what worries me the most. It's not the battleships, but the cruisers. Put one of the secondaries on the battleships to help whittle them down, and then charge in on these cruisers to try to help get these guys down. Again, the mine is kind of just selling broadside when he should be turning in and pushing into him. Remember, this guy has like 16 torps on him, 4 on each side. We get a nice citadel, and that helps clean up that yield. He turns away and drops his torps. I mean, again, torp power is not being properly utilized. And it's scary because I mean, the main is going to go down. He's dead. He's just sitting broadside to 2 battleships. We get another citadel, and in terms of the Bismarck, you know, we've cleaned up the cruisers. The mains is putting armor piercing into the side, but I mean he's gonna go down. $10,000 on that. Mains goes down, so there's still that Nagato just sitting there. And we managed to pick him up on a fire in our secondary. So 347k. Not a bad match. And I'm getting ahead because I don't know if those cruisers are going to spawn, but I'm going to put myself between the Raptor and the evac point. I have my guns loaded just in case, but at this point I realize that they're not spawning, which is probably a good thing. But until that CV crosses that point, I'm on guard duty. But I mean, 8 fires and 534 secondary hits. But let's see how many secondaries we actually fired. Over 600,000 credits, decent amount of free XP. If I had had a blue booster or a green booster, that would have been a lot more. But I didn't have any of the boosters on because I wasn't sure how the match would go. But 347k, 1,323 free XP, assistant, C-star, and a major contribution. 534 secondaries. Top of the team with 2287. But you can kind of see that I outdid all these heavy DPM torpedo boats by over 1,000 base XP. Turpits being second with 1701, or Bismarck and Turpits both on top. So Bismarck did extremely well. But it's kind of displeasing to see all this torp power not being utilized. In terms of secondaries, we did 38,000 with our secondaries to that carrier. We did like the majority of the damage to him, like at least half his health. And then yeah, we lost 23,000 to that Fuso right off the bat, so that didn't help us. So that was probably a misplay on my part, but we came back and was top of the team. That's how we came back. We did take 2 bombs of the Shokaku for only 8,000. That could have been a lot worse. A lot worse. And then the fires. So in terms of the damage we did to the CV plus our spotting damage to him, we pretty much, in a sense, did all the damage to that one carrier. We fired over 2,000 secondaries and only got about a quarter of our secondaries actually hit. But a lot of my damage was pretty much between floods and fires, secondaries, torpedoes, and main guns. Still 500,000 made, just amount of free XP, and a decent amount of commander XP. So, not a bad match in the Turpits.